Hello, welcome to the Cup Night channel. My name is Shane, and yeah, I am live streaming. We'll see if anyone joins the chat. Otherwise, I'm going to start off with a collective message. So, yeah, we'll see how this plays out. Today, I'm going to be connecting with the energy of Venus in the position of the sky where Venus currently is, as we can see with our eyes, telescopes, things like that. So, yeah, currently Venus is in Scorpio, the actual position of Venus at this time. Mercury is kind of in between Libra and Scorpio. The Sun is transiting Ophiucus, the 13th sign, if you follow true sky astrology, or real sky, however you want to say it. Not that there's anything wrong with Western tropical or sidereal astrology. Whatever system you like is perfectly great. I just particularly like this one. Yeah. So, Venus in Scorpio. Let's look at the true sky chart here. There's the Venus glyph, there's the ticker, so it's in the 7th house, like right on the edge, the boundary of Scorpio and Ophiucus. So this is like deep transformative power coming from a place of beauty and love in relation to others. The 7th house. 7th house is Libra energy, so it's like it's the opposite of the 1st house. 1st house is about your personal identity and how you express yourself. 7th house is how you relate to everything outside of you. People, things, it's all a reflection of you, and that's what the 7th house represents. It's a very mystical concept. So we're dealing with deep, beautiful, transformative power in relation to, we'll just say, the other. Yeah, and on the pre-shuffle, I started out with the Strength card. We got the Lion coming through, the sign of Leo as well. You can see down here, Mind over Matter, Love Wins, and Majesty. And for the archetypes, I ended up with the Mask. Underneath the Mask is the Shadow, which felt particularly relevant to me. And I'm feeling this on 2 levels, especially since we're dealing with the 7th house. So there is definitely an emphasis on others, like the other, right? Whether this is a person or experiences, situations in your life. It's this idea of like the mask coming off. So this could be the mask of someone who appears to be strong, kind of revealing something underneath, a shadow aspect. And we can also look at it in a more positive light, and this is maybe your mask coming off and revealing the strength underneath. If people maybe they don't perceive you as like a very strong individual in some ways, and it's like you're removing that mask and showing them, well, actually, I am the light and the dark, right? I know my shadow, I work with my shadow, and I use it as a source of power, and it comes from the heart. And you know that you are of the stars, the starborn. You're creative, you're in touch with your eternal inner child. With that joy, you are decisive, and you are in touch with your true self, your true core of power, right? That's where your strength comes from. So I am loving these archetypes that are just stacked up here to start this reading off. Oh, and then for an animal guide for this reading, we ended up with the cassowary. I believe this is it is a flightless bird. I believe they are found in New Zealand, but they are incredible swimmers, extremely fast runners. They have razor sharp talons, and they're just badasses. And they kind of look like raptors, right? So there's this like ancient power coming through. On the bottom there, you can see it says Resolute Warrior Spirit Defense. So it's like this energy, this warrior spirit coming through. let's get a saying to kick off the message and go a little bit deeper here and see where we want to take this, because we definitely have a warrior energy coming through here, right? Especially with lion, strength, the cassowary. Oh, and even underneath strength, we have the Nine of Pentacles, the white peacock. Is a very, like, in touch with yourself, like I was saying with the archetypes. It's like this mask is coming off, and you're really coming into your power with the Nine of Pentacles. It says, heaven on earth, independence, expansive thinking. Yeah, it's very much a card of self-fulfillment and having things to show for it, because Pentacles are, it's like proof, right? It's the evidence. It's the things we can see, hear, touch, feel, taste. So yeah, there's proof to back up what you feel and what you are showing about yourself. All right, so Spirit, please provide us with the most appropriate saying for this reading. Thank you very much. It's all Greek to me. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, so right before this, I started this live stream, I was watching a video about how the Bible can be interpreted through many different mystical sciences, as they were calling them. Oh, say hi to Mezzy. That's my dog right there. She's come to hang out. But anyway, the person was using astrology and interpreting, showing how the Bible references astrological signs and other constellations that are not, the 12 signs, but other constellations outside of the path of the sun, which is where the 12 zodiac signs come from. If you didn't know, it's because the sun passes through them. That's why some people consider Ophiucus to be the 13th sign, because you can see here, I have the date set to today. It is December 12th. Happy 12/12 portal for everyone, for anyone who cares about numerology. And it is about 3:43 p.m. where I am right now. But you can see the sun, its path, is touching the leg of the constellation of Ophiucus, which is the serpent bearer, right? He contains this serpent energy, this transformative energy, and he's able to channel it and use it. You can see here in this depiction, he's kind of directing the snake, holding the tail and the top part of it, and they're both looking. So here's another example of how this "it's all Greek to me" plays into what I'm talking about here. They're looking at this constellation of Boots here, which is not part of. It's the sun never touches this particular constellation, right? But it is part of the sky, and we can observe it with our eyes. Now, I don't know the story of this constellation, but I can guarantee you that there's a myth surrounding this constellation, because that's where this "it's all Greek to me" is coming in. Is the Greeks had stories about all of the constellations and meanings for them and the energies that they represent and the place they play in our spiritual experience and our psychological experience, physical, mental, the whole thing, right? Because we are a reflection of the stars, the seventh house, right? It's that you are what you see, right? So yeah, very interesting quote to start off with. It's all Greek to me. There's also this element of a mystery here, because we have to interpret these things. That's what that's how you engage with stories, right? Even real life stories, you don't always have to take them literally. If someone is telling you about their day and something interesting that happened to them, you can take it as like, oh, this is a fact-based story that this person is telling me of an experience they had. And you can take it that way, but you can also take it metaphysically as, okay, what are the energies and the elements and the archetypes at play in the story that this person is currently telling me, and what does that reflect about myself? What does that reflect about them? What does this person talking to me reflect about myself? What is the nature of our relationship? You can always go so many layers down, like infinity layers down into anything, right? Life is chock full of meaning and mystery. At least that's what I believe. And life is way more magical since I have adopted such a lens. So it's a lens that I think I will be keeping for the rest of my time here on this earth. Yeah, okay, so let's also get a figure. Ooh, okay. So this to me looks like a cello or a double bass. So there's this idea of music. This is it's funny that this is coming through because I went to a middle school orchestral performance last night. It was like the 6th grade orchestra, 7th grade orchestra, 8th grade orchestra. My I went with my boyfriend and his family because we have some middle schoolers in the family, and they're both, one of them is involved in the orchestra, the other one's in band. But yeah, it is interesting that this is coming up again. So once again, there's an example of, I just told you a story of an experience I had last night, and then this symbol that's coming up to kind of relate that into what I was just talking about. Yeah, so let's think about this on an archetypal level, what the cello represents. It's musical, for one, the most obvious thing, but also it is a bass instrument, right? It's oh, my mind is blanking. Not the treble clef, the bass clef, duh. Yeah, I just said it. It's in the lower register of notes. So this is like, once again, it's giving me this idea of like a deep power, like this like ancient strength with the cassowary and the lion and the strength card coming through all together. And even with this figure showing up as a silhouette, it's kind of like a mask and a shadow in one, right? And what's interesting about like lower notes is that they travel farther. So lower frequencies carry this like really big energy that travels a lot farther than higher frequencies. Higher frequencies they don't go as far. So whenever you're like, that's why if you pull up next to somebody at a stoplight and they're playing their music really loud, usually what you notice the most is the bass, because it's a more powerful frequency. And the higher notes are kind of lost unless you get closer to the source, and then you can hear the higher frequencies. And well, just saying that just gave me this whole other message of, it's like you can hear the lower frequency, or the lower frequencies are like bringing your awareness to something, and as you get closer to it, you're hearing the full spectrum of what it is. It's like as you get closer to this thing, right? Or as it's almost as if the closer you get to it, the more the mask falls away, right? The closer to the heart of the matter, through the darkness, through the shadow that you get. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Okay, I am going to pull some cards, but I want to get some nouns first too, because these help me to go another layer deeper into the message that's trying to come through. I am going to, history, there's that idea of ancientness prose. This is like words, language, stories, right? The way something is being said, the prose of something, how you're formulating your words, and the like rhythm of it, right? Like almost like poetry. An hour, this idea of timing and place, degree, north. Okay, these are actually very interesting, so I might just keep these. Because now we have this idea of a time and a place and the way something is being talked about. It's almost like just how I was telling you the story, right? And we're dealing with the 7th house, so you're dealing with, it's like something outside of you informing you, right? Something that may unlock some kind of strength for you. Yeah, strength, 9 of Pentacles, that is a very powerful combination there. And the white peacock coming through. This energy of like showing off, because peacocks are already showy, right? And then this idea of like an albino peacock is even more, it's like even more rare. But anyway, yeah, it's almost like somebody's telling you a story, something that's already happened, something that happened in the past, and the way, there's something about the way they're telling it, the prose that they're using. And it's a very specific event at a very specific place. bulb is giving me this idea of like a flash, like a, like a light. Like, here's my candle right here. An ancient bulb of sorts, right? Let's see. Yeah. But it's almost like, it's this idea of something being illuminated. A bulb. A button. A farm. This could have something to do with property. This story that is being told to you. A walk. Perhaps somebody is going on a walk with you as they are telling the story. They're taking you for a walk, and they're giving you the history of something. And there's something particular about the way that they are saying it. Maybe it's veiled in some way. There's some murkiness to it, right? Shadow, the mask. This combination is like, it's like the deceptive energy. And I just remembered that on the bottom of my Mushroom Oracle deck for the pre-shuffle, I ended up with Amethyst Deceiver. And you can see it says Deception. The number 14 coming through. You can reduce that to a 5 if you add the 1 and the 4 together. It may hold some significance at this time. So yeah, there is something about, something around this story that is being told to you is deceptive. It's not particularly true, but you are able to sense the heart of the matter, right? We have fish, company, sign. Interesting. This seems to be related to maybe a business, a company, something official, business matters. Somebody's fishing for something, or there's something fishy about it, like I was saying. It's like something deceptive, right? Pay close attention to the stories you are being told around this time, especially when it has to do with property and business. There are signs for you to follow that will illuminate the truth, right? The heart of the story. You got to get through all this. You see this nest around, and then at the center there's two people sitting on this calm body of water, and the stars above them, these two stars conjoining together. So it's like the truth, it's like coming together with the truth, getting to the heart of the matter. Interesting. Okay, now I'm going to pull some archetypes first, and then I'll draw some tarot cards, and we'll see what comes through. Oh, okay. There's one. There's another. Oh, the warrior. So we have the temple came out first, the warrior, and the destroyer. Okay. And the fault line, yeah. Something is cracking apart. The mask is falling apart. The facade, the deception, it's breaking apart. This message has been coming up for a while now, and I've been very vigilant looking for the signs in my own life of like, what is this related to for me? Because I do believe these messages play out on multiple levels of reality. So definitely you can pay attention to the larger global stories. There's something breaking apart. But also pay attention to the things around you, in your community, and the people close to you. But yeah, I mean, there's the warrior. So we have this warrior spirit coming out again. To me, this is just a reminder to stay true to who you are. Stay in your strength. Stay close to your heart, in your authenticity, right? Nine of Pentacles, authentic expression. Heaven on earth. There is an element of sadness, 5 of Cups, associated with whatever this is. It says, loss, hidden solutions, better times ahead. Yeah, so whatever this story is, maybe it's either hiding sadness, or on the surface it seems sad. Then maybe they're trying to get you to feel sympathetic for them, or show some empathy. Yeah. But the warrior. So yeah, stay true to who you are. The destroyer, once again, this and the fault line together. you know? It's, yeah, there's, something is breaking apart. You can't help but notice the wolf eyes in the background there. I believe this is the Sirius A and Sirius B binary star system there depicted. But the archetype of the wolf has been coming up a lot for me lately. In this particular animal deck, I'm curious to see if it comes out again, but it's the Knight of Pentacles. So it's like this slow, steady, but reliable energy. And then, like I said, we had the Temple come out as well. So there's something about, once again, authenticity, right? Be a warrior for your own temple. So take care of your health, right? With all the green coming through and the yellow here, emphasis on solar plexus and the heart space for this particular card. But yeah, you want to make sure you are taking care of your health and staying true to who you are, just keeping your body, which is your temple, clean and in tip-top shape, right? Always good things to do. Alright, so let's get some tarot / animal guides here. This is the Arc Tarot by Bernadette King for anyone interested. They're awesome cards. I love these cards. Mezzy's still there. It just dawned on me that I'm telling you to stay wary of stories that other people tell you, and here I am telling you a story, right? And that remains true. Always use your own intuition and your own connection to spirit or the universe or God, whatever you want to characterize the all, the highest, right? Above anything anyone else says. And especially because this is a collective message, it can be, the energies are more like archetypal, so the way they're playing out for you specifically are going to vary by high degree as to how they're playing out for me or anyone else. It's not going to be exactly the same because we are all unique individuals living very unique lives, and the way these energies express themselves in each of our lives is wildly different. So yes, always keep that in mind. Stay true to you above all else, because you are your connection to God, to spirit, to source, to the universe. And the more you can strengthen that connection, right? The strength card, I already shuffled it back in, but the more you can strengthen that and defend it, keep your temple, defend your temple, the warrior in the temple, the better it's going to be for you. Okay, so we just had a lot fall out here, and the only one that landed face up is the King of Cups, the octopus. And this is interesting. On the bottom it says, calm, clarity, control over emotions, self-compassion. And yes, that is true for King of Cups, but for this particular message, this is striking me as also a person who's very good at camouflage. And that can be a good thing or a bad thing, as with all things. You can use it for honorable purposes or for deceptive, shady, shadowy purposes, right? So I'm gonna see what other cards fell out here, but that's what we're working with so far. A very intelligent, especially emotionally intelligent person. So once again, that's a double-edged sword. People who are emotionally intelligent can use it to potentially manipulate others' emotions to get what they want, right? They can also be the best listeners and advisors, counselors. So it's a double-edged sword. So we're going to see what kind of King of Cups this is. On the bottom, interesting, we have the Seven of Cups, so illusions are definitely playing. We have the beaver associated with this card. So there's this idea of building something, right? Building up a story, changing the flow of water, right? Which represents emotions. So it's this idea of emotional manipulation, like I was just saying. And yeah, on the bottom there, you can see it says dreams, deception, determination. Okay. We also have the alligator, the Page of Cups, surprising insights, artistry coming up for air. So what's sticking out to me out of those words associated with this particular Page of Cups is surprising insights. Because we're talking about somebody telling you something, right? Somebody's telling you a story. They're taking you for a walk, telling you a story, and it's like, to me, what's more important is not what they're saying, but the way that they are saying it. That's what important. It's like you need to pick up on the energy of what they're saying, not the words. That's what kind of prose is, right? It is the shape of the thing, not necessarily the specific detailed words they're using. It's the energy of it. So yeah, some surprising insight coming through here. And alligators are also kind of masters at camouflage. A lot of animals in nature are, but they hide just beneath the surface of the water. Once again, water coming through. Cups, cups, cups. We have nothing but cups right now. So this is all heavy on emotions, which is energy. Emotions, energy in motion, right? So, energy. If you are good, which I imagine if you are watching this kind of content, you're at least somewhat tapped into energy and feeling it and sensing it. But this is heavily emphasizing to pay attention to your feelings and the feelings you're picking up on in your environment and the feelings other people are giving you as they are saying things to you. It's not the words they're saying, it's the way they're saying them and the way they make you feel. That's what's important here. Alright, and then we have a whole other stack here that fell out, so I'm just going to go through these one by one. Alright, we have a Queen of Pentacles coming through as well, the bear. Very protective maternal energy. We have Earth Mother protection, a noble soul. Yeah, okay, so there's a King of Cups and a Queen of Pentacles involved in this situation. This could be you, or it could be someone else to do with this energy. But yeah, very interesting here. And actually, I didn't really point it out, but the page could represent you or someone else as well. Pages are typically associated with either somebody just beginning something, like a novice, or children, right? So we have a king, a queen, a page. So this could be like, a mother, father, child situation. Something like that. But there's definitely an energy of some kind of like illusion with the Seven of Cups here. This is like fantasy, trying to build something, build a story, right? We're dealing with a story here. So it's like a story is being built up in order to uphold this illusion that is redirecting this kind of like emotional energy, right? Okay, let's see. Let's keep going. Alright, we have the Two of Wands with Flamingo, balancing act and take the first step. This is funny, I saw a flamingo in my meditation yesterday when I was closing my eyes, and here it is. Yeah. I haven't pulled this card yet since I've been using these cards again lately, so that's interesting. But yeah, Two of Wands is this idea of like taking action on plans, or like the act of planning itself. Either you have already made plans, or plans are being made by someone. It could be this King of Cups, Queen of Pentacles. I feel like the Page of Cups in this case is representing the person who is being told the story, because it's like, it's fresh, right? And what you can see, it says surprising insight, so it's like they are being giving the surprising insight in this particular scenario. But yeah, so it seems like somebody is thinking, because with Wands we have the energy of fire, the element of fire, so it's the energy of like action, a masculine energy, taking steps towards something. So it's almost like somebody planning to come towards you and tell you something, right? I have a feeling it's this King of Cups, so I am going to place this flamingo with the King of Cups here. And once again, what they're saying might not be exactly the truth. It's more important to pay attention to how they're saying it and how it makes you feel, rather than the words that they're using. Sorry I keep saying that, but it just feels important to harp on that. Oh, we have Spider, the High Priestess. Balance, intuition, secret knowledge. Yeah. Okay, so we are definitely dealing with secrets here. Something's being hidden. Someone is also picking up on the fact that this is hidden. Yeah, interesting. So there is some kind of, in this story that you were being told, there is truth in there, but it's not surface level. You won't be able to find the truth just by listening. Like I've been saying, it's about feeling it, High Priestess. It's about tapping into the energy of what is being said. Not the specific words. Sorry, but that's just, that keeps coming back up. Okay. And then finally, ooh, Dolphin. Once again, another person. Knight of Cups, shout out to the channel, Cup Knight, right? I love this card. Energy of play and fun. But also, you can see at the bottom, joy, true romance, and trickster. So once again, this energy of like an illusion is coming through. We're dealing with tricky energy here, very tricky energy. For the Seven of Cups, on the bottom, I just noticed we have the rabbit, Seven of Pentacles, reaping what is sown, constancy, perspective. So it's almost like there is this idea of a consequence to this illusion or this story that is being built up. It's almost like, oh, hi, I just noticed your comment there, welcome. I'm just doing a collective message right now, but I'd be happy, if you have any questions, I might pull some cards at the end. So yeah, feel free to hang out. Thanks for being here. But anyway, yeah, so Seven of Pentacles, so we have Seven of Cups, Seven of Pentacles, 7, 7, 14 again, right? Which, as I was showing earlier, this amethyst deceiver, right? Deception. So there is this, yeah, I don't know. There are consequences for whatever this illusion that has been constructed is, though. You can see it says, reaping what is sown, constancy, perspective. Yeah, once again, this idea of perspective. So, like, listen to what this person is going to tell you, right? The history they are giving about something, about a particular place, about a particular event that has to do with either property or a business, right? Farm, company. It might even trigger you. Button is kind of making me think of, like, being triggered, like, emotionally. But, it's this idea of like fishing, like getting into the emotional side of what is being said, not the surface, like intellectual, like understand, like just listening to their words. It's going beyond that, tapping into the energy of the story that they are telling you. Okay. So, I mean, that is the advice for this collective message for sure. Ooh. Underneath the Seven of Pentacles, there was the Pangolin, which is the Five of Pentacles in this deck. So yeah, on the bottom it says, Dark Night of the Soul, Loneliness, Loss of Home. This is the card of being on the outs, like being left out in the cold. So once again, it's like this idea of something is being lost here. Or maybe there is a loss that is trying to be covered up by somebody telling you something, a story. Yeah. Okay, let me grab some verbs just to go a little bit deeper, and then I think I'll wrap up the collective message there. So let's see. I'm going to reduce these because 12 is a lot, so we're just going to do 3. Alright, Spirit, what action-oriented words are most appropriate for this message? Thank you very much. Blush, increase, and mend. So, blush. Blush is giving me, like, embarrassment. You know, like somebody's cheeks turning red because they're embarrassed of something. Increase is interesting. I'm going to pull some cards for that one because I'm not really getting... Like, my mind goes to wealth, you know, or like value, an increase in value of something. But I feel it's something more than that. It's beyond that. Let's see. Increase. What is increase, please, Spirit? Thank you. Okay, I'm just gonna pull one. See what comes out. Fox, Knight of Wands, Fortitude, Passion, and Leadership. So this is a very favorable depiction of a fox. Foxes can also be associated with trickery and deception and sneakiness, but in this case, you can see this card is coming through with Fortitude, Passion, and Leadership, which is really cool. So we have another knight. We have the Knight of Cups come out. Shout out to the channel name again. And now we have the Knight of Wands clarifying this increase verb. So I think the advice here is to increase passionate pursuit, because the knights are like active forces. They're doing things, they're actively moving, right? And Wands, Knight of Wands is double fire energy. So this is like very passionate, very active energy. So with increase, it's kind of going along with this blush energy. It's like, it's almost like your focus on increasing the things you are good at, like your hobbies, your passions, like focusing all your energy on that is giving you this, it's giving you a better insight into, how do I say this? It's like leveling up your bullshit detector. That's the best way I can put it. It's giving you this ability to kind of see through illusions and deceit, right? Seven of Cups. Through made-up stories that are designed to manipulate emotions and feelings. And it's giving you this like very authentic power, right? To know like, okay, well, I know my truth. And in my experience, what you're saying kind of smells fishy, right? Like that, we had fish come through with the nouns earlier. So this story about this like history regarding this property, this business, look for the signs, read the energy, right? And keep your bullshit detector on, because you're probably going to smell something fishy in what is being said, the way it's being said, the prose. So yeah, the advice additionally here is to make sure you are just following your passions and being an exemplary leader in whatever that means for you. You know, like live the life you try to embody, the things that you love, because that is going to enhance everything in your life. It's going to attract the things that you want. It's just all around good, right? Yeah, and then on the bottom we have the horse, the chariot. So you have travel, victory, and raw power. Yeah, once again, enhancing your raw power. And this is a major arcana, right? So it's like very strong, very prevalent energy around this advice. And I just want to point this out. The year we're going into, 2026, is the year of the fire horse. So we have literally wands, fire, and then horse, fire horse. So I have a feeling the beginning of this next year is going to be very interesting, a very fun, passionate, driven time for the collective who hears this message. Not saying that if people don't hear this message, it's not true for them also, but you get it. Yeah. Okay. So, I think that is it for the collective message. If anyone is still around that has a question that I could pull cards for, or wants me to clarify anything about the collective reading I just did, I'd be happy to do that and hang out for a bit. Just put it in the chat, and yeah, we'll go from there. I'm going to put away all of my cards really quick. Get a clean slate here. Give them a little bit of a shuffle. Alright, and while I'm waiting, I am going to also, I like doing this every once in a while. I might do this in all of my readings that I do from now on, but it's kind of fun to get Bible verses from this random generator as well, because they're always relevant, and the Bible is full of wisdom. It's a very mystical book. All religious texts are, I think, to some degree. So yeah, let's see what comes through. I'm going to reduce it to 1 though, because it always gives 12, and that's just too many. Alright, so Spirit, what message from the Bible would be most relevant for us to hear at this time? Thank you. Okay, so we have John 9:25 coming through. He answered and said, "Whether he be a sinner or no, I know not. One thing I know, that whereas I was blind, now I see." Ooh, I like this one. Yeah, this goes really well with the message I just gave. So, my interpretation of this is that you may be aware of somebody who is not being completely honest. They're creating illusions in the stories they tell. You can feel something is off. But the advice here is to judge them not, right? Judge not, lest you be judged yourselves, you know. Let he without sin cast the first stone. Those kinds of things. So it's like, it is good to be aware. Now I see. I was blind and now I see. Now I'm aware. But don't try not to judge. I mean, we're human, you know. We do our best. We're always going to have those thoughts, right? But you don't have to let those thoughts take root in your heart. You can be aware of them, because once again, I was blind, now I see. Now I see, be aware of them. But you don't have to allow them to like anchor into your soul. You can choose, okay, that's a judgmental thought that doesn't really bring any value to me or anyone else. So be gone with that. You know, get out of here. I'm going to leave space for better thoughts that are actually beneficial for myself and others, for the whole, right? So yeah, I really like that. That's very cool. Thank you, Spirit, for bringing that through. Okay, so yeah, I'm not seeing any questions in the chat. I do see I have 3 viewers, so thanks everybody for being here with me. I think I'm going to close it out here unless something pops up at the last minute, but yeah. The message was pretty straightforward today. And as always, the best advice is, well, 1, don't be judgmental, right, from the verse there. But also, be a warrior for your temple. Yes. Oh, hello. Yeah, if you have a question, go ahead. I'll wait for you to type it out. I'll just hang out. I'm going to drink some of my tea while I'm waiting. We got some vanilla chai. It's very good. From 𝕊𝕚𝕚𝕚𝕚𝕚. And I got my NASA mug here. So, yeah, cheers to that. While I'm waiting for you to type out your question, I'm gonna look up in the guidebook for the Arc Animal Tarot and Oracle about the cassowary, because this is that warrior spirit coming through again, and I'm kind of curious to see what else is in there about it. But yeah, resolute warrior spirit, defense, cassowary. So let's see. As you can see, this book is like, it's really big. This is for anyone curious, I really like these cards. But yeah, I gotta use the index to find this. Let's see. 268, 269. There we go. Oh, okay. Well, we got the question, so I might come back to this later, but let me see what's going on here. Is Aisha, my girlfriend, and me supposed to be together, or is she draining me? So, I will pull cards for you on this question, but I'm just going to go ahead and tell you right off the bat. You are the only person who can answer this question truthfully. Because that kind of goes back with what I was saying earlier. I don't know if you were here for that, but your inner voice is your most authentic truth above all else, above what anyone else says. So if it feels like she's draining you, then she's probably draining you. Only you can really know that. I will pull some cards and see what comes out. So Spirit, what is the dynamic here between the querent and their girlfriend? Alright, just going to pull 3 here. We'll see what comes out. Okay, on the bottom we have the 5 of Cups, the manatee in this deck. So you can see it says loss, hidden solutions, better times ahead. So it definitely seems like you guys may be going through a rough patch, maybe? We also have the Giraffe, 8 of Pentacles, apprenticeship, quality, craftsmanship, and mastery. So this is a card of work. So what I'm getting so far is that there seems to be this kind of like dwelling on the past, maybe 5 of Cups, right? That's a card of dwelling on the past, depression, being stuck on what was lost instead of looking forward. But the 8 of Pentacles is a card of doing the work, of mastery, right? So this is, to me, a suggestion of if you two like each other still, if you enjoy each other's company and you want to be together, then the relationship can be improved. 8 of Pentacles. We also have Bat, the Hanged Man. Down here, you can see it says self-surrender, prophetic powers, and facing darkness. So yeah, this is the card of willingly kind of suspending yourself, taking a pause, and getting a new perspective on the situation. So once again, this is a card of reflection, looking at, the 5 of Cups, this energy, and saying, why do I feel this way? What's really going on here? That's going to give you a new perspective. You just take some time out, journal it, write it down if you have to, talk to a rubber duck, an inanimate object, talk to a tree, anything to just kind of talk yourself through it is going to help give you a new perspective and kind of get to the core of how you really feel about it. And then finally, we have the Knight of Swords, Roadrunner, courage in action and best of intentions. Yeah. So this is a card of communication, and the Knight of Swords is a fast-moving knight. So once again, I think the advice still stands to what I was saying with the Hanged Man, is like talking this through, like taking action to talk it through, whether that be with a close friend or talking to an inanimate object just to get it out, right? Or writing it down in a journal is going to benefit you and kind of help you to get through this like difficult emotion. And underneath this 5 of Cups, just so you know, is the Sun, duck. I mean, look how happy that card is, right? And this is a card of clarity. So there is clarity through these difficult feelings, but it does require work. And that's not to say that the work won't be hard, right? It's also not to say that the work will be hard. It's just taking the action towards it. She does not encourage my musical talent. So, that right there, yes, that what you just said is, I know I'm pointing and you can't see what I'm pointing. I have my chat on this side on my computer. But anyway, that's something you can talk about, right? That's something you can work on. Eight of Pentacles. If you feel like she does not encourage you in your musical abilities, then, well, for one, make sure she knows that, right? Knight of Swords, communication. But also be gentle about it. Like, don't be attacking. Don't go and be like, you don't appreciate my musical abilities. Just say, be more gentle and kind of be like, I feel like you don't encourage me to pursue my musical passions. You know, just be very gentle about your approach with it, because that always is going to smooth over the communication, right? And allow for a more honest, for more clarity and joy to come through. Yeah, and you can see down here, triumph, bliss, hard work creates good luck, right? So if you approach these difficult conversations with this energy of like compassion and love and lightheartedness, and not trying to attack, then you're going to have a better outcome. You're going to be able to conquer this Five of Cups feeling. And it could just be maybe she doesn't know how to encourage. You know, some people aren't very good at that. And they might not be aware of it unless you make them aware of it. Like, hey, you don't make me feel very good when it comes to this aspect of my personality or my abilities. You know. Oh, thanks for the hearts. Also, thank you for the likes. I very much appreciate that. Let's see. Can you tell me what is my husband Rajiv thinking about me? I petitioned divorce because of his behavior. Is he really regretful? Sure, yeah. So I feel pulled to start with an archetype here. So these are the wild unknown archetypes. So I'm going to pull one of these and just see. Let's see. Oh, okay, we got one that wanted to come out there. Let me get one more. Alright, so I'll just go with the one on the bottom. We have the ocean. So the ocean is a very deep, expansive, emotional landscape, right? To me, it represents the collective, or kind of being connected to larger communities. And then also we have the tear. Okay, so you were asking about regret, right? Well, here's the tear. Yeah, I would say this card is, you know, and this paired with the ocean, to me, this is a very deep sadness. These two cards alone indicate a deep regret to me. I will pull some tarot as well, just to get a little bit more information. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, and D7th Son, I hope I'm saying your username right. It's, you know, you don't always have to point out when somebody is angry or whatever. They probably already know how they're feeling, right? And that might just make them more angry. So it's better to come from your perspective and not try to tell them how they feel, right? And that's just personal advice from me. Communicating and trying to not let your emotions go to the extreme, because that will typically destroy the communication, right? You have to come from it from a very balanced perspective and only speak from your perspective and not try to tell them how they feel or what they think. So that's, yeah. Let's see. He's wanting a last discussion. Should I give him that? I went cold turkey on him since November 18th. Okay, I've got 2 cards out here for you. 𝐬𝐮𝐩𝐻. Hope I'm saying your username right. But let's see. I'm going to get one more here. Okay, so on the bottom we have the Warthog, which is the 2 of Cups in this deck. You can see it says perfect harmony, sacred union, mutual attraction. So I have a feeling that, I mean, obviously you guys had a deep bond because you were married, you were together. But we do have this energy of like a union here. Let me see what other cards come out to see how it's being supported. Okay, we have the Queen of Pentacles, the Bear. To me, this may represent you in this situation, protective of your own energy, kind of being a bit on the defensive, that kind of vibe. Let me see. Oh, and then we have the 𝐬𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻, which represents the Lovers in this card. So we have love in all forms, commitment, and choices. And you are asking me about a choice here. If you should give him a last discussion, I cannot tell you that. Only you can decide that. And the cards will not tell you that either. Because we all have free will, and free will shapes all of our realities. Every decision we make, you know, ripples out to the broader collective, right? So your decision not only affects you, but it affects your husband and your families and their communities, and out and out and out and out, right? It's a big ripple. So that is the burden of free will. Whatever we choose to do has lasting consequences. So let's see what this last card is. Gorilla, 7 of Wands. Yeah, so this is that defensive energy coming through again. I knew I was feeling that with that Queen of Pentacles. On this card it says courage, achievement, and also self-sabotage. So, the advice here for you, I believe, is that you have to be very, like, absurdly honest with yourself. Do you believe he deserves this last discussion or not? Is there even an ounce of you that wants to hear what he has to say, right? Because if there is, then it might be worth giving him this opportunity. Because there's definitely an emphasis on a connection here with the 2 of Cups and the Lovers. And yeah, underneath the 2 of Cups we have Temperance, the Manta Ray in this deck. And here you see it says divine energy, perfect harmony, and miracles. So if he's coming at you from a balanced perspective, then, you know, from my just personal opinion, I would say, what's the harm in hearing him out? Because you still hold, the choice is still yours, right? You can still choose to proceed with the divorce or not, even if you hear his last, whatever he's wanting to say to you. You still hold the power to walk away or to stay. It's that choice, right? The Lovers, that's what the Lovers is all about. Is he seeing someone? I will, let's see. I will pull some cards to see what comes out. Oh, okay. Oh, there's a whole stack. We're gonna go with that. Okay, so on the bottom we have the Horse, the Chariot. So this is a card of movement and energy. We also have Lion, the Strength. So this is like, I don't know. There's definitely passion here. 9 of Cups, satisfaction and pride. Pufferfish, this has a lot to do with ego and self-fulfillment, right? Tasmanian Devil, 5 of Wands, conflict. Stag. We have a lot of masculine energy here coming out. And finally, yeah, King of Wands, the tiger. Okay. What I will tell you, I don't know if he's seeing someone, and I don't think the cards are going to tell me that. But what I will tell you is, it seems like he has a lot of passion, virility, sexual energy at this time. That's what the cards are indicating to me. And there is this like frustration, right? 5 of Wands. So here, let me just, I'm going to ask for a very specific type of card just to get clarity. So if we are allowed to know, and the answer is yes, please deliver an Ace of Cups if 𝕤𝐻𝐻's husband is seeing someone at this time. Okay. Yeah, I don't think the cards are going to tell me. And I don't want to, you know, give you a definitive on that because energy is a little bit tricky. What I can see here is that passionate sexual energy is very much at play, but whether he is acting on that or not, I am not sure. We have the 9 of Pentacles. This is a solo energy. 9s in numerology is a solo kind of card, so this might indicate that no, you know, he's kind of going at it on his own right now. We have a Queen of Swords here with the Jaguar. There may be some interest from other parties. And then we also have King of Pentacles, Rhinoceros. It says power, wealth, and ruthless. So this could be representing him in a very like solid kind of stoic manner. So I would say, I don't know, the cards seem to be saying that no, but there does seem to be interest in him potentially with this Queen of Swords. Maybe on an intellectual connection, somebody he like can talk to, or somebody he talks to. Okay. Hopefully that helped. I know it probably wasn't the answer you wanted, but I like to be completely upfront about the way that I read the cards and the energy. I don't want to mislead anyone or put any false ideas in their heads. Yeah. Let's see. Thank you. I'm glad. Yeah. Hopefully you got some comfort or some help from the message there. Oh yes, yes. Thank you. Yeah. If you have anyone who likes this kind of content, or yeah, definitely share, and I appreciate that so much. Thank you. Okay, so for anyone still watching, if you have any questions, then you know, just kind of, I don't know, put something in the chat to let me know. Otherwise, I am going to close this down. Yeah. So I'll give it like 30 seconds. I'm going to take some sips of my tea again. Oh, thank you so much. That means a lot to me. I'm very grateful for that. Yeah, this channel is a newer thing I've been doing over the past oh gosh, I don't even know when I started it. Like 7, 8 months, maybe longer, less than a year. So, but I'm having a lot of fun with it, and it's so good to connect with people on here. Okay, well, I am going to shut her down, so thank you everyone who has been here, and I am so grateful for your presence and your energy, and yeah, I hope you found some value in this. As always, take care of yourselves, keep your heart open. Bye!